am Joyce Harvin. Today's Community Connection show is brought to you by the Saginaw branch of the NAACP and its Youth Council. We urge you to get connected, be informed, and stay involved. Today is indeed Independence Day, also known as the 4th of July. It's a holiday and it marks the day in 1776 when the Second Continental Congress unanimously adopted the Declaration of Independence. And this signaled the official separation of the 13 original colonies. Remember, you learned about those in school, from Great Britain and the Revolutionary War. The 4th of July is America's birthday. Okay. Most Black folks enjoy this holiday by kicking back with family, cooking, and having huge food menus and enough family and friends over to eat it all. And if you didn't hire service help, we celebrate. We have to clean up the kitchen and the backyard and all of the cookware. Now that is a chore. Now, Rob, are you doing any cooking and celebrating?
Well, first of all, I'm a bachelor and I don't cook. So, no, I'm not celebrating anything. I mean, I was just telling the listeners of my show that was on before yours that some people have mixed feelings about 4th of July.
Right.
But I remind them, because I'm a veteran, having been to many countries in my 20 years of naval service, that we need to be appreciative of certain freedoms. The freedom of press, like this radio station, and newspapers and media, the way you can say things that you want against your government, peacefully, of course. So that's one mental right there. We have people who are religious, or people who are non-religious, freedom to worship as you please. So it's just a matter of just studying your history and realizing that, okay, here's a country, along with Canada, because I put Canada involved with us in terms of the way we do things here, as freedom. I mean, we have a lot of problems here. No country is zero lacking of problems. We have a lot of problems here. We're working to solve them.
Yes,
and I played the song from Frankie Beverly recently today, and I said the song "We Are One." I said Frankie Beverly was talking to us in the country as well as the world, that we are politically divided and gotten more shattered than ever before in my lifetime. Yet we're still doing things together to stay in this country and to try to come together somewhere. We have people who are doing this show, for example, Kareem Bowman's show, my show, and when it comes to gospel, Vicky Hill's show. These are things that bring people together at some point in time. We don't need a tragedy to bring us together all the time. So that's my meaning of celebrating the 4th, because I could be someplace else in a country like Afghanistan or Iraq where my freedoms are heavily curtailed.
When you were in the service and the 4th of July came around, or any of the holidays, did the Navy make any attempt to make it more home-like?
Yes. I think all the military service have done that. And I served with Marines also. I was a Marine, but Marines were on my ship. They did all the decorations and things of that sort, play patriotic songs. Of course, the church services were also patriotic in nature. So yes, but a lot of people, us being in the military, we're not taking it for granted, but we know what we're there for. So we're hoping, and we're homesick when we're deployed, so we hope our people are celebrating, the 4th of July, not just for barbecues and things of that sort.
And fireworks.
And fireworks, whatnot. But now on the ship, we didn't do fireworks. But on shore duty, certain shore bases, you can have fireworks. But on the ship, we didn't do fireworks for obvious reasons. So
I wish they would cut that out. It's too much noise. They start early.
And
they're spending their money.
It's going to go all the way on at least to Wednesday or Thursday for sure. If not Friday, the rest.
They are so inconsiderate. We celebrate with these fireworks. We used to have sparklers. I don't know if they even sell sparklers, right? And that was enough. And then we would go down to Ojibwe Island or downtown somewhere where they had the big fireworks, and that was it. But now
everyone's got a firecracker. And everyone's got noisemakers of some sort.
It starts 2 or 3 days before the holiday, and then
that's for the rest of the week, and then throughout the night, sometimes 2 a.m, And
yeah, absolutely. And people don't consider that you have elderly people or kids or people that have to get up and go to work.
Exactly.
And don't want to hear that noise.
Not to mention the animals don't like it. I know dogs don't like it either.
No.
Dogs hate the noise.
Oh, gosh. Well, anyway, I know everybody's out there cooking. You didn't cook. What you gonna eat, Rob?
I'm going. Hey, I may stop someplace to pick up something, or I eat something in my refrigerator. You know, it's not a big deal for me because while I've been invited to a few cookouts, I'm not much of a cookout. First of all, I'm particular about potato salad. Okay, I do not eat anyone. Now, my mom, when she made potato salad, or when I was married, my wife would make potato salad. I could trust her potato salad. It was from someone who I know well.
Right.
But I just don't eat any potato salad. You know, and then there's a way of taking care of corn on the cob. And then ribs have to be able to fall off the bone because if they're tough,
right.
you know, and everyone can't cook. It's just like Thanksgiving. Everyone can't cook. They think they can.
Man.
So I eat a little bit of this, eat a little bit of that, you know, but there's always a beer in my hand to get me through, you know, to get me through.
To help it.
Exactly, to wash it down. Because everyone can't make lemonade either.
Yeah, right.
Know?
Hey, I can make some lemonade now,
yeah.
You know.
Do you use 3 lemons or 4 or 5?
Depending on how much I have to make. Yeah.
I always use 4.
Today I had to make a big vat of it for my church.
Oh, okay.
It was our first Sunday getting back to church. We had praise in the park, and the culinary department had to cook hot dogs and hamburgers. And it was hot out there, but we did it. It was great. But I made lemonade. They love my lemonade, so I like that. But I have some friends who are roasting pigs. Okay.
They put that in the ground and do that sort of thing.
I'm like, what are you doing all this for? But they're having a big spread, you know, and I was invited over, and I started telling them about, you know, you must be from Hawaii, right? And they said, no, they said, we do this in Alabama, right?
Oh, yes.
So I said, okay. I said, but this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to go get my plate tomorrow. And then I'm coming back home and I'm going to watch 2 documentaries. You know, there's one about the festival in Harlem.
Okay. Right.
I'm going to watch that. And I'm also going to watch the one about Dick Gregory.
Oh, yes.
Man, that's why I'm going to kick back and do.
Dick Gregory and also an activist Dick Gregory.
Yes. But he was 2 in the same. I mean,
he had a way with words.
I am looking forward to that.
Well, on a positive tip, though, you know, just so our listeners don't know that we're being negative, I'm thankful that we are in the first year where we could do this, because last year it was unusual. You know, we couldn't do a lot of things that we're doing now. So I don't blame people who want to travel, who want to get together with families, you know, and just celebrate, you know, regardless of whether or not the holiday means anything. It's just a matter of just getting together with family and friends this time. You know, hopefully they're all, you know, vaccinated.
Everyone's vaccinated,
you know, but especially with this Delta variant going around. But I'm just appreciative to see that sort of thing. And it's a beautiful day today, 90 degrees, you know, on Saginaw, what have you. So, hey, you know, do your thing, everybody.
But be safe, be careful.
Be safe.
Be considerate of others, please.
And be truthful. If you're not vaccinated, wear your mask. And
wear your mask. I can tell. I want to get, you know, when I see people with their mask on, I want to give them a bump and say, yes, thank you. Well, I'm you know, finished with what I'm going to have on. And have to eat, because like I said, I'm going by and get my plate and come back home and kick back and watch some shows. They're streaming live on not live, but they're streaming on many of the streaming services. The What About Dick Gregory and it's the Harlem Cultural Festival.
So just look up on your computer. And
yes,
you'll see it. Okay.
Wonderful. I mean, the trailers are great. The Harlem Festival is directed by Questlove, who is the band director for
the Roots.
Yes,
the Philadelphia Roots. Yeah,
man, So I'm looking forward to that.
Fifth Dynasty. I'm a fan of the Roots. So
yes. But the reviews for both have been, you know, really good. So
cool.
I'm going to discuss those 2 movies, or those 2 documentaries. They're documentaries actually, next week with my in-studio guests and a few more guest calls that I have coming in. So please join me next week. And I do have a guest that's coming on. It is Ricky Flowers, and I'm going to talk to him in just a minute. But this has been a real heavy week for news. Bill Cosby was released from prison. The city is not letting up on the water shutoffs, but they're making arrangements, and they're pointing you to assistance where assistance is available. And there is a lot of money available, you know. So please go get that money. Call the 211 helpline. Make sure that you get that money and let them wipe out the bill, and you start over fresh and start paying that bill on time. All right. And there is also from the city of Saginaw, they have pulled down a big portion of the 52 million American Rescue Plan Act funds. Something like 28 million was downloaded into city coffers with no word yet on how they plan to spend it to revitalize our city. And so I'm checking with other cities to see how they're engaging residents for their input. And I want everyone to stay tuned over the next couple of weeks because I want to see what bubbles up. I've got a lot of questions. I talked to Kilde's office and they verified the money is in the coffers for the city. So I want to see what they're going to do. Other communities in Flint, they're having a little bit of problem, but at least they have called their residents together and asked for their input.
Good.
And I don't think
Good.
the city of Saginaw has done that. And I'm not just waiting. I am trying to find out additional information. Now let's get to my guest who's holding. The U.S. Olympic trials have been taking place, and while some are dropping out, other hopefuls are being banned for one reason or another. Shakira Richardson, a runner turned pro about 2 years ago, was banned for 60 days, which was lowered to 30 days, for having tested positive for smoking marijuana or having that drug in her system. I turned to Saginaw's own 1980 Olympian qualifier, Ricky Flowers, to explain the issues and inside of this story. Hey, Ricky.
Hello, Joyce. How you doing?
I'm doing great, Ricky. Thank you for joining me during your 4th of July holiday, our birthday here in America. Before we get to Shakira's story, but please tell us what happened in 1908 as you were heading to the Olympics.
The president, Jimmy Carter, had Afghanistan had invaded Russians had invaded Afghanistan,
Mm-hmm.
and they elected for the team for safe precautions not to go.
Not to go.
Right.
Were you did you ever get back into the Olympics or attend any of the trials and qualify?
No, I never did get a chance. I had another chance, but I got injured. But it's in some cases it's a one-time thing, and some cases, kids can make it over and over again depending on, your training and things like that.
Okay.
But in that case, it was I understood it back then.
Okay. Now, what have you been doing since 1980, Ricky? I know you're active in the community, but I want you to tell your story. What are you doing in the community? How are you staying engaged?
With me, I personal train. I moved back to Saginaw in 2009,
Mm-hmm.
and I partnered with the Buena Vista Community Center, and ever since I've been training in and out of there and coaching locally. I currently now am head girls coach at Heritage High School.
At Heritage High School.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And I have my own track club as well, with coaching and training kids and developing kids. That's my big thing is development, so kids can move forward.
Okay.
In the sport.
A little bit about how the Olympics have changed for those who are interested. Is it any different than what it was in 1980?
Oh, yes, it is completely different, and it has changed. Back when I ran amateur.
Mm-hmm.
We was considered as amateurs, which we made a little money here and there.
Mm-hmm.
That was after college, and in some cases during college. But now kids can turn pro.
Right.
Now.
Right.
So they get huge endorsement.
Mm-hmm.
And so it has changed tremendously. So the drug testing has become very, very stringent
Mm-hmm.
with the drug test,
Right.
as opposed to when we were being tested back in the day.
So speaking of that drug testing, tell us about her training to be a sprinter and why she was banned.
Well, she was banned because of marijuana use.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not too happy about that, but it was in the ruling, but you can look at it a whole lot of different ways. I don't think that she should have been banned for that. For other steroids that's out there, there's a lot of different ones out there, but she just smoked marijuana, so I just didn't like that decision. And she did it based on it was a stressful situation
for her, right?
She had just heard that through a reporter that she had her natural mom had passed. You know, and a lot of times people don't really know the stories or the backgrounds of a lot of these athletes,
right?
You know,
right?
And it only comes out when something like this comes out, you know. But she has a good story in terms of how she's gotten to where she's at. So, with that situation surrounding her right now, it's really sad.
But marijuana is legal in so many states.
Yes.
And the contract or the agreement for someone who is running in the trials for the Olympics, it does not say marijuana, right?
No.
Okay. So, and it is a legal drug, why would they ban her?
And that I'm every day I'm actually here in Texas now, where she's from Dallas, Texas. But I'm still, you know, trying to keep up with it a little bit, because there's a lot more to it than just that, you know. So I can't really speak on that part, but
okay.
I hope she has she started out having a 60-day ban. And when I first saw that, I said, something is not right with that. Because usually when you get banned from some type of enhancement, it's way more time off than that. And with her, and now she's down to 30 days. I'm hoping and praying that she can be reinstated. She after 30 days, she can run on the relay team, but not her individual race. So that's why I'm a little bit concerned about this whole situation. You really don't know what they're doing, but it's sad. Now, and the bright side of it is Nike, which she has a contract with, did not suspend her. So
that's real good.
Very happy about that.
Yes, very
because
cool.
She did turn pro, you know, and she do have her shoe contract.
Well, now when you were in the Olympics, Ricky, did you take advantage of, or were you given any contracts or endorsements from like a Nike?
At the time, I was with 3 different ones, and I finally Puma, Nikes, and Adidas. But I finally settled in with Nikes. But I couldn't have at the time a money contract. I had a clothing contract with Nike. Yeah. And so now, and speaking on that, now the NCAA has they have changed the ruling. Now athletes can get paid for their endorsements on pictures, signing autographs, you know, and I'm very, very happy about that too. Because
so you agree with that? Yes.
I agree with that wholeheartedly. Yes.
And so when will that take effect? Right away?
I think so. Coming up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I might have to go back to school and get into sports.
Yeah. I wish I could change back the time, but you know, I'm happy for that ruling. It's because it's a $1 billion industry. You know, the TV rights that these schools are making,
right.
The money that they're making off of your athletes, you know, because athletes train probably harder when they're in college, you know, as opposed to going pro. You know, they train much, much harder to get to where they're at and to continue moving forward. So yes, they should. And then you performing, you know, I was a Big Ten champion. I was 2-time Big Ten champion, and then also 4-time qualified for the NCAA. So yeah, I do believe that they should get paid.
Well, let me ask this. Well, then, any of their equipment or clothing while they're in college, and now that they are allowed to be paid, then the school will not provide that anymore. Is that correct?
Yes, no, they do. They provide it, and the clothing and the travel, and that's it. But kids need to live as
Right.
well.
Right.
You know, some live off campus, and after your first year, you live on campus.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, you live on campus your first year, and then you can move off campus.
Well, I understand that, but with all of the money that they're going to get, through endorsements, some will and some won't. Do you think that the colleges will start cutting what they are giving to the college students now because they're now being paid and they can pay for it themselves? Do you think that will be cut back?
I don't know. I hope they don't. I don't. They shouldn't,
because the endorsements are going to be much more than what they don't have.
Right, and they're gonna have some stipulations and some things that we probably won't know, find out about right away. And like you said, all of them not going to get it.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
All of them not.
So will they be able to get agents, or do they just have to do it themselves? Do you know how that's going to work?
You probably will have some advisory. I recommend that they do, because you can't sign everything, without knowing the verbiage behind it.
Right, and the ins and out of it all.
Right.
Very interesting.
So,
very interesting.
Yes, it is.
Well, I'm going to see. I'll keep watching, try to learn a little bit more about sports and what they do and how that works.
Yeah, because we you never know. You're a relative or someone that child,
yes,
son or daughter, could be affected by that. And we have a lot of, just here in Michigan and locally, we have a lot of good athletes.
Yes, we have some very talented people here, and they do need someone to help them. So
correct. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's the area. Well, Ricky, thank you so very much for joining me today to give us an explanation and what you know about Shakira and Robinson and what she's going through. Now, the next Olympics will be held in Japan.
In Tokyo.
Well, yeah. And that's July 23rd through August 8th. Is Japan ready or getting ready?
Well, yeah, they've been ready.
Okay.
They've been ready.
And then it will go to China.
Yes.
Yeah, then they are building. But thank you again, Ricky, and enjoy the rest of your holiday. Eat as much as you want. Tell them I said you can.
Okay. Thank you so much for having me. Okay.
All right. Safe travels back home, Ricky.
Okay, I will.
Okay, all right. Okay, Bob, can we have a little break here?
Yes, we can.
And we'll come back on the other side and talk about a few other things and make sure that you're informed about what's happening here in the city of Saginaw and Bay City, Midland, even over in Flint. You're listening to Community Connections, community talk for community people. I'll be right back.
You're listening to Community Connections with Joyce Harvin on KISS 107.1.
It's straight talk, straight with no chaser. It's Straight Talk with Kareem Bowen, getting right to the heart of the matter, giving you all of what's happening in Saginaw and the Great Lakes Bay region, all at a grassroots level. Sundays at 6 p.m. on KISS 107.1.
The 2021 Cool City Car Show, supporting the local American Cancer Society, is the car show in the Great Lakes Bay region. They've raised over $300,000 for the American Cancer Society since 1995. And the Cool City Car Show is 2 days of fun for all ages that's free to the public. Friday, July 9th, starting at 5:30 p.m., cars will be cruising through the streets of Essexville and Bay City, concluding at the Midland Street Business District. Visit your favorite local bar and restaurant to see all the cool cars. Then on Saturday, July 10th, the cars, trucks, and motorcycles will be displayed on the streets of historic downtown Bay City. And you can bring the whole family for free fun activities, contests, automotive vendors, food vendors, and regular merchants for a great summer day. With over 400 vehicles and over 5,000 people attending in years past, the Cool City Car Show has become a can't-miss event in the Great Lakes Bay region. Get all the details on times and events on the web at coolcitycarshow.com.
RocketGrabPlus.com. This week's deal on RocketGrabPlus.com is for the Vino Wine Warehouse Summer Festival. It would normally cost you $30, but you are getting it for $15. The Vino Wine Warehouse features over 1,000 retail wine items, 16 draft craft beers, a full liquor section, and a unique modern menu featuring a lot of appetizers at low Bay City prices. Head to RocketGrabPlus.com right now to snag your deal. RocketGrabPlus.com.
Hi, Tom Bodette for Motel 6, leaving the light on for families back on the road. Kids in suitcases jammed in the back, earbuds tangled in the dog, heading to see Aunt Jasmine and her rock garden. Admit it, you missed this. And Motel 6 has been missing you. With our clean, comfortable rooms and great low rates, we've been giving families on the move the perfect roadside rest for almost as long as Aunt Jasmine's been putting rocks in her yard. I'm Tom Bodette from Motel 6, and we'll leave the light on for you.
You've been listening to Community Connections with Joyce Harvin. And now back to Community Connections on KISS 107.1.
Yes, you are back with Community Connections, community talk for community people. I am going to have a call in. It's the first Sunday of the month, and usually we have the president of the Saginaw NAACP call in, and he's calling in now. And he is Terry Pruitt. Terry, are you there?
Yes, I am.
Good afternoon, Terry. I was just telling our listening audience that the first Sunday is a Sunday for you to give a report about what has transpired over the previous month. And there are a few changes in dates in terms of our community meetings this month. So could you please give us an update? And as we get ready to go into the national convention, which is going to be a virtual convention this year.
I'll be glad to provide our listening audience with an update. First of all, we will not be having our usual first Sunday meeting because of the holiday weekend. We thought everyone would enjoy their family and get together with family and friends. For many of us, a year ago, July 4th, we couldn't do this kind of celebration and enjoy each other's company. So we just pass on it this weekend. And then, of course, next weekend, we start our national convention, the 112th annual conference or convention of the NAACP.
Right.
It will be a virtual event for many of us, but it will be 8 delegates from Saginaw who will be participating in our national convention. And several things to highlight with the national convention that I'd like our listening audience to be aware of. First of all, we have probably 8 to 10 of our young people from the Saginaw area who will be competing in the national AXO competition. AXO is a formal competition in a number of different performance areas, including math and science, the performing arts, vocal music, instrumental music, oratory. And so it provides youth from around the country an excellent opportunity to put some very, very, very excellent and strong talent on display for the public. And the reward for many of the students is a major scholarship. The winners are rewarded very handsomely with scholarships. And it is a significant competition.
Yes, it is.
You and I have both been to the national convention, and we've seen the caliber of students who have performed there. And Saginaw, for the size of its community, is one of the communities that's consistently honored and talked about because we've won more than our fair share of medals.
That's right.
In that national competition over the last couple of decades. And so we have to give some kudos to John Pugh and others throughout the community and some of our teachers and instructors and parents who promoted these students because Saginaw has performed very well in the national competition
very well.
over the years.
Yes, represented very well. We've won the bronze, gold, and silver medals, for years and years. So much so
categories.
that other chapters across the country are always calling us, asking them, what are you doing?
Absolutely.
How do we get our kids, into that space?
Yeah, and it's important that our young people understand not only what they're going to and getting into with this competition, but represent our community in a very proud fashion. And like I say, we've been extremely competitive in a number of the competition areas over the years, and Saginaw's truly been blessed to have some outstanding students.
Okay.
The other thing we do at our national convention is the membership really is the NAACP. I mean, many of your listeners will hear and see on TV some of the national leadership who are out front on a lot of these issues.
Yeah.
But what really drives the NAACP is the membership, and what we do is vote on various resolutions and how we should be responding to some of the current issues, the issues of the time. I'm sure the Voting Rights Act and the police reform bills and things will be all things that we discuss very in-depthly, and that many of us will be asked to approve some specific steps we want to take to make sure that we do everything we can as an organization to get those bills passed.
Terry, if you are not a member, or if you are a member of the NAACP, but you're not a delegate to the convention, can they still watch any parts of the convention virtually? Can they still click on a link anywhere and watch parts of
a number of the major speakers and presentations will be on Facebook or on YouTube. Probably the easiest way to do it is to go to the national organization's website, which is the NAACP.org. And I think that's correct. It's NAACP.net.
.org, yes.
And all they really have to do is follow the schedule. It will highlight and indicate which sessions are open to the public. And in fact, some of the communication I've seen is inviting people to some of the public sessions where they've got some very dynamic speakers who will actually be speaking about some of the issues that we just talked about. Where are we with respect to working with Congress and getting some of the bills that we think are extremely important? I think the Supreme Court didn't help us out this past week.
No, they did not.
Taking another hit to the Voting Rights Act, but with the passage, with the denial and upholding some of the Arizona laws, it really emboldens and encourages some of these states to go ahead with some of the election reform bills that we know intuitively are only there to discourage and dishearten Black voters and people of color from voting. So I think we're going to spend a lot of time talking about strategies in our states and in our communities and how we deal with those issues. So it's important. The work that we do continues to be very, very important and front and center.
And from the convention, our delegates, along with you as president and your vice president team, will bring back this information to the local units and try to implement some of the strategies that will be brought forth, correct?
Oh, absolutely. We will be given mandates from our national leadership on what and how and when we should be doing certain things to make sure that a lot of this effort is coordinated across the country. So, I've always found the convention to be very enlightening and encouraging. And it's one of those conventions where you just don't sit around and, there's a lot of social fun and that kind of thing. There's a lot of work and there's a lot of dynamic presentations and work that we see. There's individual workshops and things and talking about strategies and how we establish collaborative partnerships in our communities to address some of these issues. So there's a lot of work that goes into it, and I think our national office does a good job in putting that convention together on an annual basis.
Yeah, even virtually. But I'll be glad to get back to the live convention because there's nothing like it.
By the way, we should mention that we will be having our local community meeting on the 18th of just this month, Sunday.
Right. And who's the
3
speaker?
o'clock. The same time, we will be bringing a young lady by the name of Juanita Taylor, who is our state membership chairperson.
Yes.
And she's the president of the Port Huron NAACP branch. But we're launching this month our a local membership campaign. So while I have you on the air and you have me on the air, I should say, I want to just reach out to the community. Those of you who listen to this show every week, the NAACP sponsors it. We need your help. We need your support. And I'd really like to encourage you, if you haven't up to this point, become a member of the NAACP. And if you're reluctant to become a member, we still need your help and your support. I'd ask you to just send us the contribution so that we can continue the important work of pursuing justice and equality and freedom for everyone.
We've had a lot of successes.
Talk to you on this July 4th and talk about freedom and what it really means and the birth of this nation. So we really need to talk about continuing the work of the NAACP.
Okay, Terry, just a few other things that I want you to mention. The Freedom Fund banquet is coming up. Well, first, let me go back. Juanita Taylor is going to be here, and she is one of the area directors for the state NAACP, and she is with membership. But she's going to be talking to us on the 18th about membership, being a member of the NAACP. So if you will make sure that you attend that meeting or watch that meeting online, you will learn a lot more about membership with the NAACP. And then our local membership chair is Lisa Ingram, correct?
Yes. And Lisa will be on to talk about our local membership drive and our local membership initiative and get everything kicked off and launched. So as we move to our Freedom Fund banquet, which will be at the end of September, the last Sunday in September. I think that's September 26th.
Yes.
We're going to be going back to a in-person and virtual event.
And virtual, yes.
So we will be back at the Horizon Center. We're going to have probably limited seating there. So we're preparing to make those announcements in the next couple of days. And people who are really interested in joining us in person, we'll have to move pretty quickly to secure tickets because the capacity will be restricted. And then those people who will be viewing the program virtually will have to pay. It is a fundraiser.
It is a fundraiser. That's right.
It is the one major fundraiser we do during the year that helps us sustain our efforts in the community. So they will be individuals who cannot attend in person will be directed to a private virtual viewing of the program, and all the proceeds from even the virtual ticketing will assist our work and efforts throughout the rest of the year.
Okay, very good. I am talking with the president of the Saginaw NAACP, Terry Pruitt. He's just given us an update of what has transpired and what is going on for the month of July. There's a lot going on. We'll be sitting in front of our computers watching the convention or attending the convention online. And there's also, with the national convention, there is the National AXO competition, which is going to take place July 7th through 9th. And AXO stands for, its acronym, it stands for Afro Academic Technological and Scientific Olympics. It's very good for our young people. And so I think that's some that the AXO award ceremony and the competition that people can watch that for free, right?
Yes, that's part of the program where they can watch it free. And what we will do is post a schedule
Okay.
of the competition. So when the local students from the Saginaw community are competing, we will provide so you don't need to go to either our webpage or to our Facebook page, and we'll have that schedule posted as soon as we get it. So it should be toward the middle of the week, and we will know exactly the time slots for the various contestants. And it'd be a wonderful opportunity for people throughout the community to actually see students from this area competing in a national competition.
Absolutely. And to have your youth sit down and take a look at it, because they will enjoy this and want to become a part of it.
Yep. And then what we need to do is encourage young people who think that they have some special talent to contact our office and start looking toward next year and other times so that they can actually participate in something like that.
Okay. All right. Very good. Well, Terry, thank you for calling in and giving us that update about the National Convention, the NAACP, and the AXO program. AXO, it's really, really nice. Our national president is Derek Johnson, CEO. Look for his name, listen to his message on some of the national programs, and also look for what he has online when he talks about how we are dealing with some of the problems in regards to the Voting Rights Act. Okay. So Terry, thank you very much. Go back to enjoying your holiday weekend. Thanks for joining me this afternoon.
All right. Wishing everybody a happy 4th. Thank you very much for inviting me.
Get your sparklers out, Terry. No cherry bombs and all that stuff.
All right. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. All right. You are listening to Community Connections, community talk for community people. That is the president, or was the president, of the NAACP, Terry Pruitt. And the AXO, these are the 1, 2, 3, 4 youth that will be involved in the AXO competition. We have Lionel Baldwin. He is going to perform an instrumental contemporary song, I believe. I'm not sure. Okay. And then there's Naisha Hopkins. She has a drawing that was submitted. She also submitted a painting and is in competition with other young people from across the country who are members of the NAACP or are studying their craft, I guess. There's also Destiny Keller. She's going to present a vocal contemporary act, and Aisha Crawford, a dramatic acting student. These are all students from the Saginaw area. They will be participating in the National AXO competition. Again, AXO is an acronym for Afro-Academic Technological Scientific Olympics, and it takes place every year at the National Convention for the NAACP. We hope that you will join us online for some of these virtual programs during the convention time. Okay. So I really want you to go online and watch the 2 documentaries that I'm going to watch tonight, because next week we're going to be discussing those 2 documentaries. I hope to have Ralph Martin and maybe Monique Ella Rose on the show to talk about what's happening at the Saginaw African Cultural Festival. I am pushing for.
Before you get into that, you may want to give our listeners where they can find those documentaries and what they are again.
I know that. Well, the one documentary is about
Dick Gregory.
Dick Gregory, and that
is that on Netflix or YouTube or somewhere?
I think that it will be on YouTube, but I do know that the Harlem Cultural Festival is only on Hulu. Okay. And that is a subscription. They are offering a 5-day subscription. So I'm getting that and watching it. But I am just, the fact that that the one for the cultural festival, the Harlem Cultural Festival, has been kind of locked away in a in a vault somewhere in a closet. No one knew about this for 50 plus years.
So when listeners dial on the internet through the search, they should
Yeah.
enter Harlem Renaissance or Harlem. What?
Harlem, you can look for the Harlem Cultural Festival. You can also look under Questlove. It's popping up everywhere.
Okay.
He is the director. He's the one that found this, or he's one of the directors that they asked after they found all this material, that they asked him to become the director. And he was very hesitant about doing that, but he took it on anyway. He said he just couldn't let it go. And this took place in 1969. They have a lot of footage. I mean, it reminds me of our festival. So I really want Ralph Lim to give us, it's only going to be one day this year, as far as I know. I want them to give us 24-hour music on that stage. So that is what I'm hoping for. That is what I'm working for and pushing for, that we can get 24 hours of music on that stage, day and night, or whatever hours that they're going to have, and have local music. And maybe some of the other entertainers from around the state or around the country. We never know who's going to drop in.
Right.
But we would love to have that. And I know, Rob, that you are emceeing sometimes. You've been emceeing.
No, I only did it one time last year because
yes.
Ralph asked me that, and myself and Vicky Hill support the program there, and I was pleased to do it.
Yeah,
we did it from home.
Yeah.
I had the background. It was awesome. Work with that.
Yeah.
I never done that before online with anything, and I was pleased and privileged that Ralph asked me.
Yeah, very good. Well, I'm glad that he asked you to. But it's just a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. But I would really like to see, whatever hours that they're going to have, is to have a festival like that.
And that's on August 14th.
Yes.
We expect to have it. But
yes.
Again, I'm sure Ralph Ralph Martin, our former fire marshal, is working out details and would want to come on the show to tell us all about it.
Yes, I sent him a message. He said he's going to get back with me and let me know.
And if you're listening, Ralph, you're welcome to give me a call to come on Classic Soul Sunday, and I'll give you a few minutes to push it on our show too.
Yes, because we want everyone in the community to come out and enjoy. I still run into people who don't know about the festival, or they've never been to the festival, and it's been going on for 52, 53 years. And it's grown larger. There's more entertainment. There are more food and vendors and stuff. So we want you to come out and be a part of that. I will have my camera and be taking plenty of pictures. I hope that this year I'll be able to show some of the thousands and thousands of pictures that I've taken from this community. I'm trying to put that together so that people can see it. If I can't get the big screen up there, you can come by my booth. And I'm going to have a big TV out there so you can see some of those pictures from all types of events that I have attended here in the Saginaw community. So I'm looking forward to that. What else did I want to talk about? But I want you to watch those documentaries, because next week I am going to have some telephone guests, and I'm going to have in-studio guests where we're going to talk about both of them. The one about Dick Gregory, I love the trailers for him too. That documentary talks about or shows how he started. He's always been a comedian who talked about politics, and some people just didn't understand how he's going to do that. In addition to that, he was part of the civil rights movement. He was trying to get people to cleanse their body and lose weight. He did that. He ran cross country, and lost a lot of weight. He never regained it back. But they really tell the real story about Dick Gregory, and I want to discuss some of that with my guests next week. So
I look forward.
Yeah, I hope that people will tune in next week. If you have any questions about the ARPA funds, please take some time to look online. I am hoping that I can get our city manager, and the mayor scheduled to be on the show to talk about these ARPA funds that's coming from the American Recovery Act, I think it's called, and how they plan to include residents from the city of Saginaw in on the planning. I don't think that they've done anything. I really don't know. They're not saying, they're not talking. So I would like to know about that. But I would like my listening audience, if you are a resident of the city of Saginaw, find out, go and get that information and learn more about the ARPA funding and what it is supposed to go for, and that how they're supposed to engage the community to get so that they can give some input to the city about how they want those funds spent. There's some stipulations, but we are very creative, and we can give the city some very good input. We absolutely need that. We absolutely need that. So again, if you have any questions about that, you can call City Hall. You can also call me. I'd be happy to share with you what I have. And my email is jwharvin@gmail.com. And I would be happy to get back with you with whatever information I have. And also those people who need their water bills paid. The city of Saginaw, they're looking for you to give you this money. I don't know if they're going to pay everything all at once. I don't know how it works, but there is money enough. I think one agency, the United Way, they have millions of dollars to spend and to help people pay their water bills. I know all those water bills wouldn't spend up all of that money, so make sure that you call City Hall. Don't be afraid. Don't be scared. Go get some of that money, pay that water bill, and then don't let it go up that high again, because you never know if we're going to get any more money like that. But they have funds to spend and to help people, with some of the debt that they have incurred over this past year during the pandemic. And some of that money is earmarked just for this pandemic time. All right. So we hope that you will do that. Also, I want to say, if you have a topic for the show, please send me an email. It's jwharvin@gmail.com. If you are a NAACP member and you need to renew, you can go on the Saginaw NAACP website and renew your membership online. We hope that all of you will become card-carrying members with the Saginaw branch. Keep your card in your wallet. Sometimes it makes a world of difference when you get stopped by someone unexpectedly. So they can be renewed online. Again, it's SaginawNAACP.org. And also, just a reminder, coming up on August 29th, Vicki Hill will be here. That's a fifth Sunday, and she'll have her show on Talking It Up with Vicki Hill. Sunday, August 29th. Be sure to tune in. Visit the Saginaw NAACP Facebook page if you have not, if you missed any of the programs that we've had. And I'd like you to like my Community Connections Facebook page as well. Thanks to all of my guests today, Ricky Flowers and Terry Pruitt. So I invite you to tune in next Sunday afternoon at 5 p.m. for another sharing of community talk and information, Community Connections, community talk for community people next Sunday right here on this station. And thanks to those who make this program possible, my fabulous connectors. The Community Connections theme song was written by local author, poet, and social activist Asigit Mersha and performed by Gone. Today's show was sponsored by the Saginaw NAACP and its Youth Council. Remember that membership is power. And I personally invite you to get connected, be informed, and stay involved. I'll talk to you next Sunday. Thanks for listening.
You've been listening to Community Connections with Joyce Harvin on KISS 107.1. The views and opinions expressed on Community Connections by the host, its guests, or call-ins do not necessarily represent the opinion of this station, the staff, its